Easy people, welcome back to the Big Steve Show on at City Extra. And today I am joined by Hugh. How are we doing, Hughie? All right?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
My good friend from Matchday Live, one of Manchester City's best, FG, making his debut. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me, mate. How are you guys? Good to see you both.
No, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Well, usually we come on these shows and it's all happy and we've won and everything's great. There's no stress. Last few weeks in Manchester City land, it's been a little bit stressful. I mean, we've had atmosphere conversations. We've had, we've been calling out certain things about the club and all that, which is not like us. And then we got Tottenham at home. We're looking at Spurs. We're thinking they've got a few injuries. Man City are going to bounce back. We're not playing too bad. We're going to get 3 points. And, didn't quite work out like that. Manchester City 3, Tottenham 3. Yet again, we look like we should have put them away first half. And, I think Tottenham's a happier team. FG, talk to me about it. What do you think?
It's in our DNA, isn't it, boys? Like, we never do things the easy way. I mean, that's the one way. Don't get me wrong, I'm disappointed, massively disappointed we didn't win the game. But I think we just need to just relax and just calm down. We've been here before. We've had a lot worse. We've been in a lot worse positions, this football club, even in the Pep Gvardiol era, in my opinion. I remember, I mean, you boys will both remember it. I remember the way I felt after we lost 5-2 at home to Leicester. And I remember at that point thinking, wow, we are in a lot of trouble here. Like I watched the game yesterday and I saw a team that was creating chances, but also conceding a lot more chances. The fact we're creating chances is very good, but of course, on the other perspective, the fact we're conceding a lot of goals, I think is it 10-4 now, Steve, or something along those lines, which is pretty worrying. But with that being said, I still think the best is yet to come. We've got no De Bruyne, still no De Bruyne, and that Tottenham team, fair play to them. They had a go at us, but they overloaded the midfield, and we're lacking in midfield. That Højbjerg substitution from Ange really, really helped them. But I mean, the worry for me is the lack of control in matches, which is something I'm sure we'll touch on. That is the worry for me.
You, same thoughts?
Yeah, listen, I'm one of these people that I'm very emotional after the games. You know, if we've won a game, I'm buzzing, I'm ecstatic, I'm showing chest. If we've lost the game, I'm down in the dumps for a couple of hours. And I did my review after the game yesterday. I was full of my stresses and my emotions, but I did reiterate that it's not the end of the world. Do you know what I mean? I think FG's spot on when he says we have been in worse positions, but I'm not kind of willing to rely on the ideology that we'll just click into a gear in February, March. I'm not willing to rely on it. I believe we can do it, but I think some small things need to change. I mean, we can discuss this, and I want the chat to get involved too. Where do we think it has gone wrong, I suppose, this season? I mean, we're all going to have different thoughts. Obviously, it's not a complete disaster, but I'm talking about the big 6 games. You know what I'm saying? We've now played Arsenal, lost. We've played Chelsea, draw, Liverpool, draw, Tottenham, draw. And then, of course, we beat United and Old Trafford. I mean,
they're not in the big 6 anymore, mate.
Say again?
They're not in the Big Six anymore. We won't use them as a Big Six team. We've beaten Newcastle as well, so
It's true.
I agree. I agree with what you guys are saying, but I think we need to have that level because City, like all of us guys, and I know the people in the chat who've been following City for many years, it's in our DNA. It's in our DNA to feel like this, and you're completely right to feel like it. But what I think, in my opinion, as a supporter at the minute, having the greatest manager in the league by a country mile, having Kevin De Bruyne, having Erling Haaland, having your Jack Grealishes, your Jeremy Doku's, your Bernardo Silvas, that gives us an edge. And having a team that are winners. Last year, we were at a point last season where we were worried we weren't going to win anything. And I'm pretty sure all three of us on this call and everyone in the chat felt that. We simply are just that close from clicking. And I agree with you, by the way. I agree, Huey, about not wanting to rely on Man City to hit these levels. But the reality of it is whatever they're doing in the first team building at City, it works because we hit our peak at the right time.
Yeah.
We won the treble last year, and at the end of the season, our players were at their peak. Jack Grealish, absolutely incredible towards the end of the season. Erling Haaland, absolutely brilliant. The big players, Bernardo, they hit their peak. I don't think we're at a point right now where we need to worry. I mean, nobody likes dropping points, and I'm with every single one of you guys. But one thing's for certain, I'm not worried about anyone else in the league. If we lose the league this year, I think that'll be solely on us.
Well, I think the results recently have been solely on us. I genuinely do. I don't think if you look at the Chelsea game was chaos, wasn't it? It was one of those days where you kind of go, wow, just wow. The Liverpool game, we weren't played off the park at all. We weren't. I think it was solely down to us. We controlled the game. We dominated the game. We created the better chances, and we didn't capitalize. Yeah. I mean, the Tottenham game, particularly the first half yesterday, how many chances do you want? How many chances do you want?
What you're forgetting, I completely agree with what you're saying, by the way, and I completely agree with the people in the chat as well, saying that we can't just rely on various things like that. But what I'm saying is this football club now has a chance to win another trophy in a month's time, which gives you a boost on its own. This football club has won the group in the Champions League. We are well in. We are absolutely well in with a chance of still winning this league. Absolutely. Yep, we got knocked out the Carabao Cup. But remember, the Carabao Cup takes place at the same time as the Club World Cup. So that probably wasn't even in the plan anyway. And he left Erling Haaland on the bench that day. I think we're honestly absolutely fine. We've got a massive game coming up against Villa, Steve. And I know we're without Rodri, etc. But realistically speaking, is the problem that big at the minute? I don't think it is, to be honest. I really don't.
I just think it's the level of performance and the matter of the fact that we're conceding a lot of goals. I think people are panicking. I said coming out the ground on TikTok that we let 3 teams off the hook. People haven't got a brain to realise that we did let them off the hook. If you're winning 4-3 at Chelsea with a minute to go and you drop points, then you've let them off the hook because the game's in your hands. You're winning 4-3. You see the game out, you win it. If you're beating Liverpool at home 1-0 and they never look like scoring, we try to finish them off at one end, they go up the other end and score. You've let them off the hook because you should have just scored that to make it 2, right? And then if you're playing Tottenham and first half you should have scored 4, second half you get yourself back in it and you're winning 3-2 and you let them equalise, then you've let them off the hook. So that's what that means for people who haven't got a brain who start like talking on TikTok and what does he mean he let us off the hook?
But you don't need to read. We don't need to read social media because we're lucky enough to be able to watch the football we do. We're the bar.
What I'm saying is we just need to relax. People need to relax. Pep Gvardiol is the best manager in the world for a reason. Last season, Nottingham Forest away, 1-1, came out of there and I thought to myself, there's no way we're going to win this league.
The week after Arsenal away, by the way. Yeah, week after we got a great result at the Emirates.
I said, we're not going to do it because it's too inconsistent. It's 1 step forward, 3 back. What he did is he made some tweaks and we won the treble. He's got to do the same thing. I think the squad's light. This myth about the squad having this big squad and we got 5 different players in every position, it's a load of crap. You look at the bench and you realise how light we are. So January can't come quick enough for me. I think we need reinforcements. I think a couple of the signings he's brought in maybe not done what he thought. You know what I mean? And like you say, Kevin De Bruyne coming back, that's like unbelievable. That's like signing a £100 million player in January and he comes back. John Stones. Now we realise how good John Stones, you know what I mean? Akanji's been trying to do that role. listen, it's not his fault. He's trying to step in there and do a job. But when John Stones does it, we just look like a whole different team. And at the end of the day, the biggest factor of it all is this. We're 3 points off the top and we're not playing well. Do you know what I mean? We're not 9 behind and thinking, we've got to go on a mad run again. We're 3 points off the top. We're not playing well. Pep knows that. The players know that. One thing yesterday, you see a bit of fight. You see a bit of passion. The players, yeah, they gang round the referee. They're going to be charged for it and all that. But there's a club not too far from here that lost the other night, and the players were walking round, strolling round, looking round, thinking, and I'd rather be in our position than their position.
No, without question.
It is on us. It's on our players. It's on Pep, and he's got to go out now, find a solution. But Villa Park, Wednesday, no Rodri, no Grealish, no Doku. Tin hats on. Let's go there. Calvin Phillips, Kovacic, Bernardo midfield free, and let's just
Sergio Gomez on the wing.
I just want to have it. I just want to have it.
I'm telling you now, right? We will be fine. I completely agree with what you're saying. I completely agree. But the one thing that we can always take is this football club. Growing up, what we've watched, the football we've watched growing up, we are still living the dream well and truly. The only issue is what I find mad, by the way. What I find mad is Man City are always in a panic when they lose. And Man City are always. There's always something going wrong at Manchester City. Like you've just said, we're 3 points away. We've topped the Champions League group. We've got a good draw in the FA Cup, which we should go through to the 4th round. We've got players coming back from injury, which is massive. We've got Nunez coming back. We've got Kovacic coming back. We've got John Stones coming back. We've got Kevin De Bruyne coming back. That's 4 players without even saying anything, right? And look, as much as I love Julian Alvarez, I think he's unbelievable, but the poor guy's not a midfielder, is he? And we're lacking in midfield. And that makes a difference through the goals we're conceding. We can see that with the goals we're conceding. They brought Højbjerg on, and the game changed completely because they overloaded the midfield. Listen, I know it seems like something's wrong and various other things, but I think we're in a good position still. Like you said, if we were 7-8 points behind, because, yeah, you know, you're saying we have to go away to Anfield, we have to go away to Spurs, we have to do this, we have to do that. That's fine. That's fine. When this football club needs to perform, they always perform. I'm almost certain that after January, I think Pep will tweak it, like you said. I think Ake will probably be back in at left back. I think we might see Josko at centre half again. We'll see the revolutionising of the team, and we'll see Pep come up with it again. And I don't think we're fine. I completely agree with what you're saying, Stephen, about we've said the same for weeks. Absolutely, but that midfield thing hasn't been addressed yet. We've had Alvarez in that midfield spot every single week, 4 weeks. And if we have, you know, another player, Nunez, if he'd have been fit, might have played against Liverpool. If Kovacic was fit, he definitely would have been on the pitch. You know, these things will get addressed. I'm sure of it. And I mean, I agree with the chat. I know that they're saying Phil through the middle. I don't know what you guys think. I think Foden's been absolutely exceptional. But I mean, maybe it is time to give him a go.
A very uncomfortable question for certain people. Yeah. John Stones is fit, right? Where's he play?
I think he plays centre half where he's best because he steps into midfield. I mean, I think we have a style of play, and we relied on John Stones to play in that style of play where he stepped in from the midfield. Mate, why don't you give Rico a go? Rico, come on, and we created chances when he played centre mid against Spurs.
Why don't you play right back like he did last season when we won the treble? Why does Kyle Walker have to play? Because he signed a new deal? Because I tell you what, Kyle Walker's a great player, right?
Yeah.
And I love him, but there's no sentiment in football. Play the back four that won you the treble. Play John Stones at right back. If we get Real Madrid in the semi-final, play a Kyle Walker because we know we need him. But people saying Kyle Walker gets back when we're getting caught on a counter-attack. We're only getting caught on the counter-attack because we're too far up the pitch because Kyle Walker's gone tear-arsing up there for me. When we played a flat back four of centre-backs, we never went further than the halfway line after time because we didn't need to.
I'm sure we're going to revisit that 4 centre-halves again. I really am. But
if John Stones is fit this season, he would have played a lot more games at right back.
Without question.
I think if John Stones is fit this season, we have a totally different run of performances. Like John's, I like Akanji, and I like what he was brought in to do, and I like the impact he's had in the team, and the consistency he had last season was not expected. What was he, 15 million from Dortmund? You know what I mean? Under the radar type signing. Came in, did his thing, fantastic. But with all due respect to him, in that role he's been shoehorned into recently, You're not John Stones, brother. Do you know what I mean? You're not able to do that like John Stones. John Stones, I said on my stream last night, he is a product of years and years of training and understanding the way Pep Guardiola wants to play football. So when John Stones slots in there, he knows what to do. If Rodri goes forward, Stones knows what pockets to drop into behind.
So what if John isn't fit then tomorrow? Then what?
That's the
Wednesday's
big question,
game?
bro. That's
so
the big question.
If John Stones isn't fit, I agree with what you guys are saying. John Stones is crucial, but if John Stones isn't fit, Steve, back to what you were saying, are you going to play Akanji at right back? Are you going to play Rico at right back? How are you going to solidify that defense?
He's going to play. He'll play Ake. He'll play Akanji. He'll play Diaz, and he'll play Walker. He won't change it. I don't think he will. The midfield's the problem against Villa. For me, I'd just have Calvin Phillips, Kovacic, Bernardo, energy midfield. There's no creativity in there for me. It's all about energy and getting about that and getting a result.
Is that the same midfield that we had at Wolves? Am I right? Or was Bernardo not there at Wolves? Because I saw that Calvin Phillips, Kovacic midfield with Nunes, wasn't it? And then Oscar Bob came on. That midfield didn't work. That midfield just did not work. Mate, he brought Rico Lewis on in the Spurs game, and Rico gives you that energy. He gives you that level of energy. He doesn't lose the ball as much.
Is he ready for a big game away? Is he ready for a big game away? They're going to put it on us, mate. They know this is the best chance of beating Man City. They know.
But is Calvin Phillips ready?
Calvin's not.
Well, he should be, because we paid 50 million for him. He's an England international. He should be.
But he's not played any football, though. Do you know what I mean? So the dilemma we have now is shout out to, is it Bevo, by the way, who said we were in 1-1-1 a long time ago. The question we've then got is the problem we've got. Look, Kovacic for me is massive that he's back. He's massive. I think it's great. I think the Wolves game that we played without Rodri, right? So the games that we lost without Rodri, the Newcastle United away, Carabao Cup, we'll forget about that one because we didn't bring the big boys on. The Wolves game, there's fine margins in that game when Hwang should have been sent off. The reality of it is Hwang should have been sent off in that Wolves game for a second yellow card, and the game changes completely on its head. Completely. But we need to get control.
People in the chat saying about Phillips, oh, he's not this, he's not that, though. Sorry, but he's the freshest man in the whole squad. Yeah. He should be fucking ready to go.
I like Calvin. Calvin, you don't get players who perform in European championships who haven't got talent, and you don't get a move to Manchester City if you haven't got talent. But what I will say is it just seems to have not worked out for him, Steve. And it seems to be a loss of...
We know that, and we know he's going in January. I'm talking this game, Aston Villa, pull him in a side room and say, listen, we know it's not worked out. You're going in January. You're in the shop window. Go and win us this game at Villa. Put yourself about. Rattle a few cages. Go and prove them that you are that player. That's what I'd be doing. We can't just give up on him and go, oh, we'll throw 18-year-old Rico Lewis in. Hopefully.
I think he's going to go Bernardo, Kovacic, and Alvarez. That's what I think the team's going to be. That's what I think he will go with, because there is the players who sort of know the system. Kovacic gives you that element of control. So does Bernardo. And I think he's going to try and play that system. Kovacic, when he came back without Rodri, remember he came back from an injury as well. So he wasn't very sharp. And the only worry I've got is he going to be sharp coming back again? But with that being said,
Stones doesn't fit me. I got told Stones isn't fit. But
he isn't fit.
He's not.
You got told he isn't fit.
Yeah, he's not fit. That's what I got told. He's not.
We can't risk a player like that.
I would have played him. If he was fit, I'd say you're playing number 6. Genuinely, I would. I think after Rodri, John Stones is the next best number 6 of the team, or next best capable of doing the number 6 role.
What about Nunes? I wonder if Nunes will be back.
He gives you that creativity. Calvin, though, hasn't he? He's not played a huge amount of football.
He gives you that creativity, though, you know, and obviously we're forgetting about Rico Lewis, a young 19-year-old lad who's just made his debut for England and played exceptionally well under pressure away from home. So you're saying, is he ready to play in a big game at Villa? Well, I'll tell you one thing about Rico. He don't let us down. He's played in the Champions League away from home. He was fantastic there. You know, he played in a home game where he got man of the match. He was brilliant. He played for England and got man of the match and gave away a penalty, which was never a penalty. Why is he not ready? I mean, Rico could potentially definitely play there. And then you look at the front three. The problem we've got now, mate, is Doku being injured potentially and Grealish being suspended, because then you look at that front three and you think, what do we do here then? Because we're a bit short as well there. We're a bit short. And I think he'll go Phil. Phil is definitely going to play. Erling's going to play. And then, you tell me, boys. Do you know what I mean? Like
he's going to have to play. Who's going to play on the left? He'll have to play Phil on the left.
Yeah, you play Phil on the left or
You know,
Sergio Gomez, you know.
I thought he should play Phil on the left, Haaland up front, Alvarez on the right, because we've seen
and
him go
Bernardo in
right,
midfield,
and then just have that midfield with energy, because don't forget, Douglas Luiz, John McGinn, somebody else going to be in there for them, going to be trying to rattle us up to death. We've got the energy of Bernardo in there, a Kovacic who's an older head, and Calvin Phillips who can put himself about, and just, I think that's a pretty solid midfield. That's all I'm saying. Keep Rico Lewis late if we need to change it. Nunes, not fit. Back four, they're stepping into this midfield and all that. He's leaving massive gaps as well for me, I think, from Akanji. When Stones does it, he knows when to get back in. I think Akanji sometimes is a little bit behind the play. And I think Ruben Diaz is looking exposed and getting left isolated when he's doing that. And I think that's not... I'd rather play a flat back four, not step into the midfield. The reason he's stepping into the midfield is because we're light with a midfielder, because Alvarez doesn't go back in there. When we're getting attacked, Alvarez doesn't defend. When we're attacking, Alvarez is great. And that's my opinion. But surely to God, Pep will see this. But this myth about the squad, when I actually written the squad down the other day and was looking through it, I thought, we are pretty light, you know.
No, mate, we're absolutely. We are 100% light. Listen, there's a lot of noise around Manchester City, which there always will be. But us as supporters know that the only people who can stick together through this is us as fans. We know what's going on at our football club. We know how many injuries we've got. We know how many decisions we've had that haven't gone against us, even though everyone thinks we get everything like that, etc. Blah blah blah. One thing I'm saying, right, is about this squad of players. This is a big game and control is key. Control is key in that midfield. And I agree with what you're saying. I don't think Akanji can afford to step up into midfield. I don't think he can. I think if Kyle plays, Kyle will support on the right hand side. I think he'll play Rico. I think he will. I would like to see him play Rico. I don't know what the people in the chat will think, but I would like to see Rico play, because I'd like to see that energy, and I'd like to see, you know, them players. I mean, Grealish is a big miss. That yellow card is a big one. Of course, we all know about Rodri, but I'd like to see Rico, because Rico can 100% play in that midfield.
In right back or in the stepping into midfield?
I'd play him in midfield personally. I think at right back, if he's going to go anyone, he's going to go Kyle Walker. I think he's going to do that regardless. If he wasn't, I'd probably put Akanji there, because then Akanji can do his inverted fullback role if required. I think Rico could potentially.
You know what? I'm looking forward to the game, right? Because I'm feeling like everyone expects us to get beat, and I just got this like siege mentality where I'm thinking, let's have it, man.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm
turning up there at Villa Park on Wednesday night with Pep Guardiola in the dugout, with fucking 11 players all wearing sky blue, and an end full of City. Let's fucking have it, mate. I don't care.
They will do everything to write us off.
You know what I
they
mean?
will do everyone. Listen. They will do everything to write us off. They will love it if we get beat. They will love it.
I've marched into battle with Jamie Pollock, so I'm marching into battle with Erling Haaland. Don't let me wrong, man. I'm having it.
Exactly.
I think we're possibly the one football club in this title race that can not panic in this situation, if that makes sense, because we know that in every season we've won the title, there's always one moment or one period that kickstarts that fire that I'm saying I don't want to rely on, but I know it's there. We know it's there. You know, the season Gundogan went on, scored a lot of goals. We won the league. De Bruyne was the injury. Kickstarted that fire. Last season, we lost to Tottenham away. Then the Chargers landed on our doorstep, and then that siege mentality of talking about arrived. Now it's a case of we have loads of injuries. We have a light squad. We know the quality is still there. It's just a matter of kickstarting that fire and getting the momentum going. I think as fans, you're right, bro. We have a say in this. And Steve, you said this last year when the Chargers arrived and we wanted to create that siege. We actually have a say in this. And I know I throw my toys out of the pram when I'm not happy, but I do calm down and I come back down to earth. But we can, if the Blues go to Villa Park and back the boys properly, there's no reason we can't kickstart something and get a run going. But you know what I mean? You have to look past it.
When you look at the fixtures we've got in the league, if we get past Villa Park on Wednesday, we've got Luton away, which is a game we should win, and then we've got Palace at home, which is a nice 3 games going into the Club World Cup. So all of a sudden we can be thinking, I mean, we see it all the time, like this season is very, very long. Regardless of this next game, this season is extremely long. It's a long season. We've got a lot more games. What are we, 14 games in?
Yeah.
Can't be written off after 14 games. If we were 10 points behind, I'd still back us to win this league.
We're written off. I just think these panic stations, because it's like, A, a lot of people aren't used to City conceding this many goals. People just need to relax. And B, you know, it's a mad season. And don't forget, we've the last few seasons, the players we've lost, and we've had to bring players in and interchange. Gundogan and Mahrez, we lost Laporte as well, who was great backup last year. Gundogan's influence on and off the pitch, you just can't go and pick that up from somewhere. You know, Mahrez as well, Riyadh always chipping in. People are going to look at that. We're in that settling down period, and we're
fine. We're 3 points off. If this is our crisis,
I mean.
And we're 3 points away.
When we throw it away from winning positions, it's when we're not used to Man City doing that. So people are like, now what's going on? You know what I mean? But we could have been 3-4-1 up at half time yesterday. Jeremy's League at the bar, Alvarez at the post. But it's been a madness for everyone. Teams are beating everyone already. You know what I mean? It's crazy out there.
No, absolutely.
I'll do a few of these super chats, boys, and we'll get to a few suggestions. Chat, make sure you are smashing the like button. Nearly 700 in the building. Good numbers tonight. To see Steve and FG here. And also, this show is also brought to you by Boohoo Man. As always, there's a link down the description. You want to get a sick jumper like myself, there's a link down the description to get a discount. But yeah, a couple super chats here. Smash the like button and subscribe if you're new around here. Kaushik here says, lads, we should have won our last 2 games. We all know what's going to happen away to these lot. Questions need to be asked about how the defense shocking defense against Chelsea and Spurs. The defense is obviously the massive talking point, lads. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, Steve. We're not used to conceding these goals. I think you said as well, bro, FG, that 10-4, not used to that. You know, big 6 fixtures, not used to that. But yeah, the defense, I suppose. Any thoughts?
Just back to what we were saying, really, isn't it? I mean, I agree. The defense is leaky, Steve. I think this one's for you. I mean, it's just I do see your point about you know, the 4 centre halves, because that was our best defense, and that's probably the reason why we won the European Cup as well.
I just think we sung the song Edison and Ake, Walker and Akanji, Ruben Diaz, Johnny Stones for a fucking reason, because they were the best defense in Europe, right? So I get Stones is injured, and I get we're trying to patch it up here and there, but all I'm saying is, if things are getting a bit leaky in defence, let's go back to what we know. Let's just go back. If it upsets Kyle Walker, if Pep had to take Kyle Walker for a Japanese, sit him down and tell him he's going to play in more games to sign a new contract, then Pep lied. Because I'd have said the same thing to get him to sign a new contract. But he's had a great run in the side. All I'm saying is, pull him out for a little bit. Let's go back to that. If it shores the defence up a little bit, then manage the situation. Home games, you want to play Walker and you think we're going to win, do it. But I just feel sometimes with Kyle, we can't just play a player because A, we made him captain, and B, just in case anyone gets us on the counter-attack. That's what I'm saying. I feel that when John Stones plays right back and he inverts into midfield, the back three of Ake, Akanji and Diaz that comes across is a lot more solid. We look a lot more solid. At the minute, we've got Kyle in no man's land. Akanji steps into midfield, and you've got a Gvardiol and Diaz pairing that's all over the fucking shop, getting stretched all over. That's what I'm watching that with my eyes. I'm not making that up. I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying at the minute that doesn't work. I believe he will put it right. I believe, like you say, there's no panic stations. But, you know, last season we looked rocket, and then he did the 4 centre-back thing, and it looked brilliant. Plus, you don't get Foden and Kyle Walker getting in each other's way on that right-hand side. Yeah. You know what I mean? You just get John coming into midfield and the boys giving it to the wingers and letting it go. You know what I mean? But I'm not Pep. This is my opinion, people. I could be wrong, but I'm not Pep.
I mean, can I play devil's advocate really quick with that? I agree with what you're saying, but is this defence struggling so much because of what's in front of them, and that's the lack of press and the lack of, you know, midfield that we've got at the minute? Is that because we are always looking? I mean, the Chelsea game especially, we looked really light in front of the back four, and when you isolate these defenders without the protection, I think if you isolate any centre half in the Premier League, you know, like sometimes they're going to show frailties, and I think that is that it. You know, is it that the problem might actually be in midfield, and we might be a little bit short there. The pressing hasn't been great in midfield, and the protection for the back four hasn't been great, especially in the Chelsea game and at moments in the Spurs game as well.
And this show is about City fans. Or we're not slagging anyone off here. We're all having a conversation between us with the chat about what we think's going wrong. We could all be talking out of our ass, and Pep could just do something, and then it go, well, this is what I'm saying. We're not hating on anyone. We don't. We're all together. The second anyone hates on anyone on this show, we block them. We're not about that, people. I've got my opinions. FG's got his. You've got his. All the chat have got theirs. We're here to talk about it and see and make each other feel a little bit better and get it. We don't want to be making videos. Big Steve calls out Kyle Walker. FG hates Haaland. Hugh's Irish.
FG doesn't hate Haaland. Like Hugh's Irish.
We're just here. We're all having a good time, man. You know what I mean? We're having a good time, and at the end of the day, we're trying to chew the fat, and we want to all pull together as a group. But yeah, man, there's a reason Pep's the best manager in the world, and I'm sure he's going to get it right. But Luton as well. I wanted to just touch on Luton, yeah. Kenilworth Road, tight pitch. Fucking hell, man. Can't wait for that one as well. If I can get a ticket.
Do you remember Silvinho's goal at Scunthorpe away? Do you remember Silvinho's goal at Scunthorpe away? And do you remember how tight that pitch was in that away and how bad that away end was? Oh, mate. Yeah, that's going to be some experience.
Great goal, that, by the way.
Yeah, banger, mate. Silvinho, what a baller.
I agree with your point massively about the opinions thing, Steve, by the way. Our boy James Redmond put up a tweet literally just before we went live, and he said we need to normalize opinions again. It can't just be taken up as hate every single time you suggest a tactical tweak or a player shouldn't be playing and whatnot. But I'll keep going through these super chats. Big up Kaushik, by the way. Sean Fogarty, I don't like the style of play we played this season. I think his hand is forced into some capacity, Sean, when it comes to style of play because of, I don't know, injuries and squad depth and that kind of thing. He always tampers this time of the year, doesn't he, Pep? He always experiments, tries a few things, and once again, hopefully we get it right after Christmas or soon. EMMC, do we need to have a conversation about Diaz? Go to ground far too often. Walker not contributing anything, and Akanji with Bojo, Jean, Rodri alone in midfield.
No,
I love Ruben Diaz.
Yes, listen, Ruben Diaz has been immense, and we know that. They all have. All them players he's mentioned have been immense. Do you know what I mean? It's just we're going through a period now where we're all a bit worried because we're City fans and we worry. And we're all looking at different permutations. That's all it is. You know, in a few weeks' time, when we've slapped a few teams about, we'll be the chest will be out again. It's just a natural thing. That's why just relax, people. We know the game. We're waiting for Pep to do something great.
Bevo, the 499, big up Bevo. Yes, lads, we'll be fine. Remember standing in 1-1-1 many years ago with FG when we was 12th in the league. Fans now take it for granted. You remember this, FG? Yeah.
What I remember, mate, is the picture of Adebayor sliding on the floor and me being in that picture wearing horrendous G-Star jacket.
I think I saw this online.
Wearing
somewhere.
a horrendous G-Star jacket. Them days in 111, right? They made me as a young lad because that was the first year I got a season ticket without my dad because my dad worked away that year. And oh my God, I was a nuisance, mate. When I walk past 111 now, mate, I see the younger me giving it out to the away end and loving it. So yeah, mate, big up Bevo, man. We had some great memories together, and I had some shocking takes then as well, like I have now. So yeah, big up 111 and 115, man. Like we love the South Stand and the Kippax. I mean, I think we're going to start cooking up soon eventually, and you know, making the Etihad a fortress when it matters again.
Absolutely. Aju, I'm worried when I look at the bench. No impact players to come to the pitch compared to last season. How it's going to affect title or our title race?
Yeah, I agree with that. I've had that similar feeling when I've looked at the bench and I thought there's nothing really. You know, last season we looked at the bench and some games you thought, fucking hell, the bench is better than the first team. And then you're looking this time. I'm not saying there's just nothing that fills you where you think he's going to change this game dramatically. You know what I mean? We've had games where we've had Foden and Bernardo on the bench over the last season, and we've brought them two on and they've changed it and whatever. But I mean, Doku is the impact player at the minute. We know that. You know, he comes on off the bench and we know something's going to happen. Unfortunately, he's injured. But I think we've got to get to January, and I think Man City have got a lot of money burning all in our pocket, and let's just hope they can freshen it up a little bit.
Maybe a cheeky little Paqueta. We'll have to see. Bevel
Maybe.
back again. Big Steve finally pushing from Martin's Alvarez right wing. Yeah,
Martin from the Mancunian way is big on the Alvarez right wing. I personally don't think he's going to end up there, but I just think when we're in this situation, looking at what's available, that it might be an option. But Pep will probably do something crazy. You know what I mean? We know what he's about, so I'm give up guessing.
Professionally, midfield is not the problem currently. We can get goals and our midfield can cope for now. The problem is our defense is leaking goals. We simply don't maintain leads, or we have to go back to get goals.
Well, it's just back to what we said, isn't it? I think I agree with the goals and the midfield and stuff, but in terms of coping, are they coping protecting the back four enough? Are they? I mean, there is no question about the effort and of our team. We're not like other teams who stop running and stuff because we don't. These players care, and we saw that even at the end of the game yesterday. I just think we're a little bit light in midfield. I feel for Rodri because he played so many games last year, and he's arguably more important this year. And the poor man, he just probably just needs a break. So maybe Villa Park will do him good before he can have some warm weather training in Saudi and hopefully win us another trophy there. But I mean, I just think the midfield lacks numbers, especially without KDB.
Listen, people, FG has got to leave us now. He's a busy man. He's got a meeting. But listen, FG, I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me. I love the stuff that you guys do. So thank you very, very much.
Soon, my mate, yeah?
Lots of love, everybody. Thanks so much.
Legend.
Go follow him, people. Go and follow him.
Care.
Cheers, mate.
His YouTube channel, it's in the title. It's literally in the title of the stream. So go over and show FG love. Kindly gave us some of his time tonight for the Big Steve show. What a guy. Big up fresh, by the way.
What we on? Coca Rico, Silver Midfield, Phil Bob on the wings. Whether he's going to play Oscar Bob, Villa Park, I don't know. Somebody mentioned it in the chat. I was going to mention it. The atmosphere problem, right? Or lack of it. So you're saying. We spoke about it on this show before. We called it out. We spoke to the 1894 group, spoke to me the day after. They sent me a voice message. They were in agreement with a lot of things we were saying. They wasn't happy that I called it a closed shop because I don't, from outside looking in, it did look a closed shop. They broke it down to me and told me it isn't a closed shop. They have actually got an email out there. I'm going to put it on my story on at Big Steve. So if you go on Instagram or at Big Steve, or I'll give it you, they have got an email. Anybody that sits in the South Stand or wherever who wants to get involved in the 1894 group, whether that is your time, whether that's money, whether that's putting flags out, whether it's ideas, whether you want to get involved, they've got an email. Email them, give them your name, join it. They're going to get a mailing list out there and a WhatsApp group sort of thing where before certain games, if they're planning something, everyone will get the message just before kickoff. Can we get in the stands a bit early? This, that, and the other. So the 1894 group are trying. They have took on board the ideas, what we said. There was a coach greeting on the weekend, which was brilliant. Love to see all the young lads there, the flares and all that. Brilliant, no trouble. Great. So that's a positive impact. And the atmosphere against Spurs wasn't bad. The South Stand was good, as always. We just need to find a way to get that atmosphere to reverberate around certain areas. You know what I mean? We can't just throw people out that don't sing. Somebody did suggest that to me the other day. It just doesn't work like that. We can't do that. But we're trying, people. I had a poll on my story about the Boys in Blue, the Old City song, The Boys in Blue. I thought it was fantastic. When the teams came out to listen to the Boys in Blue, everyone was singing it. And at the end of the game, I sent the poll off to City. The events team have got it. They've looked at it. Tottenham game, no Boys in Blue. So I don't know. I can only do what I'm doing. They might do it next game. They might think it's shit. Everyone I spoke to thought that the Boys in Blue is a main road song. It's an old tune. It's absolutely shit, but it's mint, if you know what I mean. They've got flutes on it and all that, you know what I mean. They had a remix of fucking Wonderwall or something booming out this last game. And at the end of the game, I ain't got a fucking clue what they're playing. So it doesn't resonate with me. I'd rather when they're coming off singing Blue and White, they go together, we will carry on forevermore. Because It's us, innit? It's Main Road. It reminds me of them times. But we're working on it, people. We're working on it. You know what I mean? It's hard, innit, man? You know what I mean? We've got to go through the right channels and, you know, but if the 1894 group, if I can get this email to you, if we can put it in a link or something, then people got no excuse to get involved, have they?
Mate, anything you can do. The people need to understand first and foremost that the weight of the world doesn't fall on your shoulders specifically. You can't change absolutely everything. But I know even from behind the scenes, you're doing absolutely everything you can, and anything you can do, 100%. Send it over here. We'll get on.
Have we got any mods in the chat? Because there's a load of Arsenal knobheads in there, and rather than just block them, it's my show. Fuck them off, pissing me off.
I'll get some new mods. We used to have loads of mods, but this show is probably the biggest of the week, so you get more dickheads coming in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just can't. They shouldn't even be in here. You know what I mean? When it's never going to come back for the show, just might as well bin them.
Yeah. No, we will bin them. We'll get more mods. Yeah, anything from the H94 group, give it to me, and we'll get it on in the link or the description or whatever. But yeah, chat. If there's any mods there now, and you see any dickheads, listen. We don't mind rivals coming in, having a laugh, having a bit of banter.
Coming in and chatting, no problem. But just don't be coming in talking bollocks, mate. Because it's like I won't go on an Arsenal channel and talk bollocks. You know what I mean? It's like, and it seems to be the same ones, isn't it? Just get rid of them, man. Get rid of them.
I think Freddie Pie's in the chat there, so maybe he can do something for us. We'll keep going with the super chats. There's loads here to get through. So, LB 1998, my backline will be Akanji, Diaz, Gvardiol, Ake. Gvardiol is getting quite a bit of stick in the last few weeks. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it. I mean, he's new, he's young. Pep's played him at left back. We know he's a centre back. It's probably a Pep finger just breaking him in, but he's a young lad. He's 21 years old. He's come to the new league and that. There's no excuses, you know what I mean? We paid big money for him, but he's allowed a couple of bad games here and there, you know what I mean? But he's not the only one, you know what I mean? So you can't single out anyone. We can pick on Diaz some games. We can pick on Kyle. We can pick on Akanji. We can pick on Gvardiol. It's just it doesn't do anyone any good. We know Gvardiol's going to be outstanding. I remember people slagging Rodri off on my channel when he first signed for City. You know, a few years ago. Yeah, people thought he wasn't the man. But I know. You know, it'll come with time, man.
I know. Listen, people forget with Gvardiol as well. The kid's, 21, 22. He makes me feel old. I'm only 24, you know what I'm saying? So he's going to have blips. City paid that big money for his potential and you know, what he's going to become and the attributes he already has. So let him do his thing. Erling Haaland, 93-20. Haaland yesterday was the best Haaland I ever saw.
Do you know what? This is another thing that I need to mention, right? People are so mad. People's messaging me, Erling Haaland did this, Erling Haaland did that. Erling Haaland yesterday worked his ass off, by the way. He ran his ass off. He was popping up all over. He was laying the ball off. He set up the goal for Grealish. He would have set up the second goal for Grealish. He spun, he got fouled, he spun and put a mint ball. Anyone that doesn't think Erling Haaland's game is improving at Manchester City, you must be blind. Because he's still top scorer anyway. He missed a sitter. So what? You know what I mean? So what? At the end of the season, he'll still have 30 plus goals. At the end of the day, Erling Haaland did well yesterday. He showed a bit of fight. He's getting ripped on socials for his screaming and that. But you know what? I'd rather like to see my striker screaming and frustrated and tweeting his frustration than laughing and joking and swapping shirts with someone on the side of the pitch and walking off as if nothing happened. That's what I'd like to say. So Erling Haaland yesterday was fantastic. And he's been fantastic since he signed. Anyone wants to criticise him because he's not scoring 5 goals a game, then come on, get with the chat. You know what I mean? Get with it.
People are just dying to slate Haaland. They're just dying to slate Haaland for anything they can. I saw that dickhead Goldbridge made a video today. I think his 3rd video of the week on Man City, by the way, people. You know, I've reacted to a few of them, but I can't do it every time he uploads. He does it too often. And he says the run down the tunnel Haaland did in anger was the most running he did all game. The biggest impact he had in the game.
Yeah, but listen, anyone that listens to him as a guy, right? No disrespect. He doesn't know anything about football. He's jumped on a Man United niche. He sits in his bedroom. He downloads his thing. He stands there with his little voice. Do it for Sean Gota. Do it for Sean Gota. Yeah. And all them bellends, yeah, all them United knobheads, they watch him and make him shitloads of dough. Right? Shitloads of dough. So when it comes to football opinion, don't listen to him because you ain't going to get a football opinion. The guy's a shithouse. Yeah, his top 3 videos on his channel are all Man City videos. Yeah, because that's what he's doing. He's having every one of them United fans at it. Now, if you're a Man United fan of a certain ilk and you're watching that guy's videos and believing everything he says is gospel, then you need to look yourself in the mirror, mate. You need to look yourself in the mirror, because all he is on the wind up for dough. And when he's got enough dough, he'll just disappear into the background. So Mark Goldbridge, mate, he put me on his screen because I called him a weapon. He is a weapon. I've called him that for years. He's a knob. He wouldn't do a Lad Bible video against me because he shit himself. So at the end of the day, you know, I won't worry about him. You know what I mean? And he needs to look at his own Scandinavian striker, the one that's not scored a goal in 10 games and the one that's only ever scored when United get beat. The one that he was copying our chant going, Rasmus, Rasmus, fucking Rasmus. The guy's a Danish pastry. I just had the traps a £200 bet that he won't get 20 goals this season, and they think he is. They're taking him off when they need a goal and putting Martial on. So come on, people. You know what I mean? Don't listen to Mark Goldbridge. Last time he mentioned Sean Goat, Ilkay Gundogan pinged it in the top corner and he was crying in his bedroom. So it is what it is with him, man. What a weapon.
That's funny as fuck. Your impression of him is the funniest thing.
Do it for Sean Goat. Oh my God. Damn. We've done it again. I can't believe this team. Cha-ching. Fucking £5,000 off a watch along there. All that. Oh, Mark was upset. Mark wasn't upset, mate. He just got £5,000 off a thing while you sent him a super chat fuming. Mark ain't upset. He's sat there in his Nottingham Forest pajamas, yeah, while United gets smoked, spending your dough. So who's daft? Who's daft? I must be daft, me, because I'm spending a lot of money on my club and I'm supporting my club financially, emotionally. I do things for charity. I do everything. That's a real supporter, mate. Not some knobhead in his bedroom, yeah, who got slung out the police force because he's a bellend. And, you know what I mean? Not someone like that, people. I know all you little gimps in your pajamas in your bedroom probably like him. But come on, there's levels to football fans. People have done the hard yards. People have gone home and away and suffered. People have done things abroad and gone all over the world and helped people out. People help and support the club. Go there. Do things for the club. He doesn't. He doesn't do nothing. He doesn't do nothing. He doesn't even take underprivileged kids to the game or donate to charities or nothing. It's all take with the guy, innit? They're all like that, man. It's true.
I know. And then he had we won't go into it, but I remember he had the audacity to have a go at Saeed. I was like, wow. And Saeed does the hard yards, to be fair, what you're talking about. But yeah, we'll leave him there for the minute. Martin for the Mancunian Way. Big up, Martin. I sent you a message, Martin, on Twitter about getting you on the panel tomorrow night. Let me know if you're available. He says, we need to remember who we are. Get together, become one again. Relax, remain calm. Whatever happens, happens. We'll be fine. Siege mentality from everyone. City till we die. Win, lose, or draw. Back all players. There you go. I agree.
This is it, innit? That's it. He's just, you know, Martin hits a nail on the head. He's sensible, you know what I mean? We're quite lucky and fortunate. We've got good content creators in the space and people don't overreact and, you know, we're just trying to do our thing. At the end of the day, you can't win forever. There'll be a time when Manchester City won't be at the top. There'll be a time when Manchester City won't win anything. There'll be a time when Manchester City are in a transitional period. So what? I'm ready for it.
Absolutely. Professional idiot, back again. Ake and Lewis should start more. Ake for when we need to see games off, and Lewis if we need to go forward. I think this is the time to rotate. We kind of spoke about it. FG is a big fan of Rico Lewis. He wants to see more Rico Lewis. I'm a big fan of Nathan Ake. I think we've seen Nathan Ake lock down some of the best wingers in the Premier League, particularly last season. So, I don't know. You just have to wait and see what Pep goes with, innit?
No, yeah, it's true. I mean, Lewis is young and the rise through Manchester City has been fantastic and he's a great guy and he deserves everything for it. And I think Pep's slowly but surely just working on him, you know what I mean? He trusted him at Arsenal and it's, you know, his time will come. But I just think this Villa game's a bit of a madness on Wednesday. I just don't know which direction he's going to go.
Absolutely. Marcus, big up Marcus. We've been in this situation before. It's tough now, but I believe in the manager and the players. With that said, I'm shitting for Villa away. Cheers. I feel weirdly confident about the Villa game. I know our backs are against the walls. We're up against the ropes. Everyone's expecting us to get tanked at Villa because they're flying high. But for me, this is when City will pull something out of the bag that'll shock people and remind you that City aren't done and that City aren't gone. So don't be shitting it. Don't be shitting it. Bevo again, big up Bevo, man. He says, Big Steve, there's a reason our away support is one of the best. Less corporate, more true Blues. Well, you're there every away game, Steve.
Yeah, we've got a great away support, but it's like I spoke about before, the Luton situation. I missed out on Luton, and I've got a lot of loyalty points, and part of it was down to my own doing, forgetting a bit. But I'm meeting people in the South Stand who've got tickets for Luton, who've come from all over the world. Now, that's great, but how are you getting them tickets? I don't know how it works, you know what I mean? And it's, there was a girl next to me in the South Stand at weekend who was filming Tottenham's goal. And somebody reported her, and there was a big standoff between the stewards. And, she wasn't from this country. I don't think she understood, but how are they getting tickets in the South Stand? These Man City fans that want to be in the South Stand can't get tickets. So, I've seen a video of a load of Australian kids in the family stands shouting for Richarlison and Tottenham. I've seen videos of loads of coach loads from Scotland in the family stand shouting United. Now, listen, come on. Who at the club's dealing with this? Who's dealing with it? I don't know what's going on. Kids are kids. You're going to get kids shout shit. I get that. But it's just weird. It's weird behaviour, man. I don't know. It's weird behaviour.
I want to get this one up quickly. It's not a super chat, but it's our boy Tobes. I'm sure he's buzzing after yesterday. He says, Villa going to be tough for you lot, but I honestly think your guns can outshoot theirs. Villa don't defend well, but with no Rodri, they can properly get at you too.
No, that's what I mean. I spoke to Toby yesterday. Yeah, it was a good result for them. But yeah, with Rodri, you've seen the start, I think 40 games with Rodri, never been beat. 3 games without him, lost all 3. So yeah, it's peak.
Peak. Big up Toes, man. Looking forward to chatting to you later on. Where was I? Here we go. Sebastian, how will we cope without Rodri and Grealish, who are both suspended versus Villa?
We're going to have to cope, man. We're just going to cope. We're going to deal with it. Whatever Pep decides, we're going with it.
Got to find a way, man. That's why he's paid the big bucks. That's why he's the best in the world. Simo, 19-month member, big up. I think Josko's been pretty good. It's been a trial by fire for him, and he's not had a chance to settle yet. He's going to become an absolute beast. He's long-term, Gvardiol, isn't he? Like he was brought in to be with us for the next 5 to 10 years, if not more. He's a long-term project, Gvardiol, and he's got an extremely high ceiling. He's rated really highly worldwide. He's settling into a new club, a new country, a new culture. You got to give him a bit of time. He's only he's a kid when it comes to football right now. He's so young. And he's already shown signs that he can grow into and will develop into a top player for Manchester City. So I'm nowhere near ready to put any massive criticism on Gvardiol. He's going to learn. It's sometimes the hard way, but he'll have good days too. Big up Professional Lead again with a 10. Why should our midfield have to cover for our defence? When Liverpool's midfield can't cope, Liverpool's defence keeps teams at bay. Our defence won us the treble last season. Bad defence loses games, Steve.
Yeah, like we said, we've said it all show. We've talked about it. We've all got our opinions on it. Pep will have his opinion on it. And we just got to roll with it. Like I say, if we can keep on the coattails of whoever's at the top and just keep within striking distance, get to January, refresh it up a little bit, I think we'll be all right.
I think we'll be all right too. Big up everybody for the super chats. The support tonight's absolutely fantastic. I know you guys love the Big Steve show. It's one of the most popular, if not the most popular show of the week. So make sure you're still smashing the like button. Still over 600 here. Subscribe if you're new around here. I think we're getting pretty close to 85k now. And do subscribe to @BigSteveMCFC too. Steve, did you see City are getting charged for some of the behavior yesterday after the game? Haaland's not. He tweeted straight after the game. I didn't think it was that crazy. Did I miss something that was worth charging?
I just think you're not allowed to surround the ref. I think it's something they've always been a bit keen on. We know it goes on. I think certain teams get away with it. But it's just one of them things, in a game like that, when a referee makes a decision like that, especially after waving play on, it was a bit weird. So you can understand players getting frustrated. I think the Premier League's got to use a bit of common sense and think, you know what? How would I react if I was in that situation? Do you know what I mean? So it's hard, isn't it? But I don't know. We're going to take it on the chin. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Take it on the chin and fucking pay it. You can't appeal it. So it is what it is. Premier League just do what they want.
It's annoying when you see people saying, "Oh, another charge for Man City," and "Oh, behaving badly." This,
Yeah.
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, and I didn't even look at it from this perspective myself until you mentioned it, which was the point about it does just show, sorry, that they actually give a shit. Do you know what I mean? That they are fuming. They're not happy with themselves. I know they're fuming at Simon Hooper for that crazy decision. I actually want to ask you about that in a second because we can't not. That's an elephant in the room.
The players were fuming yesterday. I spoke to somebody and the players were fuming. After the game, they were sat there in silence. It took a lot of them a long time to get out. They were fuming. Against Liverpool, they came in. They were fuming. Pep told them to put the music on because they played well and they put the music on. Against yesterday, they didn't have the music on, but they were fuming. So they know, the players know, you know what I mean? The winners, you don't win a treble and you don't win the Premier League 3 times out of the last how many, if you're not passionate about what you're doing in your day-to-day work, you know what I mean? They will look at that and think, you know what, let's put it right. They'll read the criticism. They'll read the negative points. And I don't think there'll be anyone more fired up than us on Wednesday night. It's just that, you know, we're going through it. We're never going to get any sympathy from anyone. We don't want anyone to feel sorry for us. That's not what we're saying. But we're the only team, Manchester City, that if we have a little wobble, we're not allowed to talk about it, apparently. If we talk about it, we're entitled. If we talk about it, we're crying. You know what I mean? Everyone else is getting beat every week and talking about it because we win most weeks. When we finally do lose or drop points, apparently we're not allowed to talk about it because we're entitled and we should be in League Two. So it's a weird time to be a City fan at the minute, but we'll see on Wednesday night.
I had that little gremlin Matisse tweeting me just before we went live saying, "Oh, you can't be angry about the Simon Hooper thing," or something along those lines. After all the decisions you've had go your way, as if we've never had a decision go against us. You know
I've not even mentioned the decision because for me, I'm sick of talking about. You know, every week when you watch Match of the Day, they spend 3/4 of the show talking about referees. If we've got the best league in the world and the best football product in the land, then you can't have the worst refereeing, but we have. So the Premier League can't even draw a line straight on a VAR. They can't even get a decision right. The referees are shitting it because they'd rather let VAR make the decision than themselves. They need to look at it. Look at Wolves. Wolves have been robbed so many times this season of madness. I've never seen anything like it. And you're not only messing with football teams, you're messing with people's jobs. That O'Neill's gone in at Wolves there, and he's trying his best. He's been robbed and he's losing games. If he loses his job, that's a human being, a family man who's got kids to feed and trying to make his way in the game. And if some referee who can't be asked or he's not really bothered, can get you the sack like that, it's dangerous. So if the Premier League are quick to throw charges and deduct points and take people to court and tell everyone it's the best league in the world, then go and fix the refereeing problem because a lot of the leagues in Europe don't seem to have the same problems we have. So they need to sort some out.
That one yesterday was particularly shit, though. I mean, come on.
He told him to play on. He told him to play on. He put his hand out to play on. Then he blew it back. Then he's getting a reaction of everyone screaming. What do you expect, mate? What do you expect? Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. It is what I don't care. Refs are just whatever. Like Pep, whatever. It's done. It's gone. We can't change it. We can talk about it till the cows come home. Ain't going to make a difference.
I know. Bevo again with a couple of super chats. He says Pep will do a madness. We thrive when up against it. We do. We've shown that plenty of times over recent seasons, haven't we? That when everyone counts us out, everyone thinks we're dead and buried. Remember the season what were we, 10, 12 points behind Liverpool around Christmas time and went on to win the league? Like you can't, you're naive to count out a Pep Guardiola Manchester City team. I understand the frustrations. I get frustrated myself. You saw my review, people. I was stressed. I was annoyed at the performance. But when push comes to shove, you calm back down again and you look at everything, the bigger picture. Don't write anybody off. Bevo again, same ref with Diaz Liverpool goal to sackable. It's not.
You know what? Nothing. He's not even getting stripped of a game. You know what I mean? He's not getting stripped of a game. I just feel that these referees are frightened to death, and you know, a lot of them. There's a few referees who've got a bit of an ego and they like to make it about themselves. I get that, but it's just It's crazy. It's crazy. No one knows the VAR rules. We're all sat in the stadium after time, oblivious to it. I watched a game the other night, United game, Galatasaray, I think. There was an offside. From one angle, he looked onside. From another angle, he looks offside. You know, I seen a show on YouTube where this guy said they can manipulate it, and if you, by a touch of a mouse, they can tilt a pitch on a picture. And the guy tilted it like that, and it looked on, and then he tilted it that way, and it looked off. So I ain't got a fucking clue, mate, what's going on with it, but I ain't got a clue.
Way beyond my realm of knowledge and beyond my pay grade too to know what the hell's going on there. Bevo again, Huey was 14th at Christmas and won the league. That was kind of the point, the message of the whole stream, really, wasn't it? FG kind of hammered that home as well. There's no need to panic. And we have to practice what we preach in these situations. We said it for a long time on the show now, Steve, that we're not arsed about being first. We're not arsed about being second. Right now, it's just about being in the mix, being at the coattails, being there or thereabouts, so that when the pressure is on and it's that business end where City usually do click into gear, we give ourselves the platform to be able to click into gear and do it successfully. Whether that means maintaining.
Well, Liverpool kicked off and wanted audio. Yeah, kick off, get the audio, see why you give it. If he turns around and the audio and he's blue and gone shit, fucking hell, I didn't know. I thought he's injured. And you can sort of listen to it and think, okay, on the spur of the moment, he's bottled it there. His arse has fell out and he's blue. You get that. You can have a bit of sympathy with him. He's human. But to then to say play on, because I'm sure he's going to have mouth play on because he put his hand out in it. I'm sure. And Haaland's played on, so he's got to have said play on. If he's physically said play on the audio, and then he's blue and brought it back because Grealish is 1-on-1. Then we've got a serious problem, mate. A serious problem.
Crazy. Listen, we'll start wrapping it up there anyway. We've just hit the hour mark. Big up absolutely everybody. Sorry, is there anything you want to finish with? Anything you want to talk about or promote or anything coming up?
No, just listen. Follow me on Instagram at Big Steve MCFC, on TikTok at Big Steve MCFC. And just, just if you want to get involved with the 1894 group, please get involved. Let me just find the email quick while I'm on, because it's better to me to give it out now while people are here. Because I really want people to get involved. People message and say, I don't know how to do it and that. But, you know, the opportunity's there. These lads say, I'll get involved. But, you know what I mean? Here we go. Right. The email is the 1894 group at yahoo.co.uk. So if you want to get involved, match days, you've got ideas, you want to get onto them, the 1894 group at yahoo.co.uk. Say Big Steve sent you, and we're having it.
Absolutely. Make sure to hit them up if you want to get involved. People do as Big Steve says. We're going to wrap it up now anyway. Make sure you've liked this stream. Absolutely fantastic stream. Really enjoyed it. And a massive thanks to FG too. His YouTube channel is in the title to this show. So go and show love to him over there. Subscribe to Steve. Like this stream. Subscribe if you're new. And we'll see you tomorrow with the panel show. I think Martin, a couple of the other lads, we're going to talk about it all again. So I'll see you all then. Good night and God bless.